This is Valley View News, and these are today's headlines. Police are investigating an armed robbery at a Van Nuys In-N-Out. Plus, CSUN students are looking to deal with controversial social issues while working with CSUN's police department. And girls have the chance to show their firefighting skills.
Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Scott Gierman.
And I am Leslie Estrada.
One man has been arrested for alleged robbery at an In-N-Out on Sherman Way and Balboa Boulevard with a fake gun. Police were called to the scene around 10:45 this morning. They still say they are looking for another man who apparently escaped out a back door. LAPD Sergeant Mike Amato says all employees got out safely.
But no one was hurt so far?
No one was hurt. Everybody, all the patrons and all the employees got out safely, and we do have one, like I said, one suspect in custody and a weapon in custody.
Police say no customers were hurt during the robbery.
Don Juan Avila Elementary and middle schools are closed after the apparent suicide of a 13-year-old boy on campus. His body was found by school staff around 6:30 Tuesday morning. Orange County Sheriff's spokeswoman Carrie Braun says there were no witnesses to the incident, and it is unclear if the boy was a student at the school. All of the classes on campus will be canceled for the investigation.
7 people are still missing in the aftermath of tornadoes that swept across Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, leaving 23 people dead so far. All of the deaths occurred in Lee County, Alabama. Among the dead were 3 children ages 6, 7, and 10 years old. Homeowners around the area are left stunned.
Just I'm on the counter and 10 seconds in the tornado come and everything is gone, everything destroyed.
Officials say they're concerned about the cold temperatures people left homeless are facing. The South will see temperatures in the mid-20s this week. Monday's death toll was the largest number of fatalities for a tornado in 6 years.
The driver of a suspected stolen vehicle surrendered to police in Panorama City after leading them on a violent chase. For more than an hour, police say he sped through Northridge, Van Nuys, and other areas in the San Fernando Valley, hitting 2 other vehicles in the process. LAPD officers were waiting for them at the Nordhoff Street and Willis Avenue. He surrendered to police there in front of people who showed up to watch. The drivers of the 2 vehicles he hit were not injured.
Former Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper announced his candidacy for president in 2020. He's widely viewed as a centrist. Hickenlooper launched his presidential bid with an ad depicting him as a pro-business Democrat. He also has a strong focus on key liberal priorities like climate change and gun control. The former geologist and brew pub owner served 2 terms as governor from 2011 to January of this year. And Hillary Clinton is standing strong with her decision not to run for president in 2020. She says she won't be going anywhere and will keep speaking out on problems that are necessary. Also deciding to watch from the sidelines, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg.
Sacramento police arrested more than 80 people at the Stephen Clark protest. Protesters went to the wealthier neighborhood in East Sacramento. Some residents say they didn't like protesters targeting their neighborhoods, but other residents joined the march. Officers made arrests after a resident reported that cars were being keyed. The county district attorney didn't charge officers for shooting and killing an unarmed Stephen Clark. Protesters want a California Attorney General Xavier Becerra to file criminal charges against Sacramento PD.
CSUN is bringing awareness to social issues and communication barriers among students and staff. Valley View News reporter Londi Sagasume has more on that story.
CSUN faculty-sponsored Empty Your Pockets, Show Me Your Papers. It's an event that brings students together with faculty, administrators, and police. Diego Paniagua says people of color have historically been ostracized in society.
The police department, although they operate under the disguise of protect and serve, has historically and to an extent continues to uphold state-sanctioned violence.
CSUN Police Chief Gregory Murphy says it's important for him to convey to the campus that many students from diverse communities may not have good relations with the police.
Hopefully we can use those partnerships together to address the problems and quality of life issues that our students have.
Armed police on campus was one of many topics discussed during the panel. Kayla Moore Jones of CSUN Naturals doesn't think police need to be armed.
I don't believe in having police whatsoever. I believe in self-policing your own communities and your own neighborhoods.
Dr. William Watkins, Vice President of Student Affairs, disagrees. He says many students feel safer knowing that police are around campus.
I fully support them being armed. If I were to reflect it all on what I hear, it's absolutely not that officers need to be here on campus without the capacity to protect our university community.
The panel discussion was later open to all attendees to comment. Some CSUN students shared their thoughts and concerns.
People in my own family have suffered police brutality, but I cannot generalize and think that they're all the same.
Communication and safety with on-campus police is one of the main concerns CSUN students have. The CSUN community is looking forward to future panels like the one today in order to bring transparency to students. I'm Londi Sagastume in the Jack and Florence Furman presentation room for Valley View News.
High school students who attended a house party in Orange County have apologized for using red Solo cups to form a swastika sign. The teens claimed they were simply playing a game with the cups when someone noticed that the swastika sign was being formed. At the moment, they didn't realize what they were doing. Now Newport Harbor High students say they will wear blue in support of Jewish community.
Almost 6 months later, the winner of the largest Mega Ball prize in history has finally come forward in South Carolina. The winner, who's choosing to remain anonymous, decided to cash out the prize. He'll receive a one-time payment of $878 million. The winner said when he was purchasing the ticket, he allowed the person behind him to go first. A simple act of kindness, which led to an amazing outcome for this man and his family.
Los Angeles area teenage girls are attending the Los Angeles Fire Department Girls Camp to follow their dreams of becoming a firefighter. The campers train hard for 2 days wearing the fire gear and learning how to use firefighting equipment. Valley View News reporter Terrell Gulliford has more on the story.
3, 2, 1.
The Los Angeles Fire Department aims to motivate girls ages 14 to 18 to pursue their dreams of becoming a firefighter through their annual Girls Camp. For 2 full days, the girls are exposed to the day in the life of a firefighter. They even pose as real firefighters. The LAFD recruiter, Christine Larson, says different factors went into the idea of a girls' camp.
So this event came out of the conversation we had after our former chief that was in charge of this, Alicia Welch, came and visited me and some of the other staff members from the fire department that worked at Camp Blaze. Camp Blaze is a week-long camp, and it's a stayover camp. And we thought, how could we take that camp and bring it to LA, but shrink it so that it was a little bit smaller and easier to do.
The girls get to climb ladders and even handle real equipment like hose lines, chainsaws, axes,
Pop it in. There you go. Yeah, thank you.
and other tools used by fire crews. 14-year-old Michaela McLeod attended the girls' camp for the first time this year. She says the event is an opportunity for self-reflection.
It's very fun. It's very empowering and shows you how much work you put into it. Like, women here do just as good as men, and some are better than them.
In an industry heavily populated with men, the Los Angeles Fire Department is aiming for an equal amount of women in the fire industry. For Valley View News, I'm Terrell Gulliford in Northridge.
Southern California is expecting more heavy rainfall this week. Santa Barbara County has issued a mandatory evacuation for burn areas. The storm will begin Tuesday evening and continue through Wednesday morning. Forecasters say half an inch of rain is expected every hour. In February, California storms dumped 18 trillion gallons of water.
Santa Anita Racetrack has suspended all racing. This week, a 21st horse died at the track. Last week, the track underwent soil investigation. Inspectors wondered if recent rainfall contributed to the death. However, 2 days after the investigation, a horse injured its ankle and it was euthanized. Horse race experts believe the weather is the cause for the unusual death spree, but PETA believes the horses are being overworked.
All these recent storms have caused 4 times as much water to flow into Northern California's Lake Oroville than is actually flowing out. If levels continue to rise, officials could be forced to use the dam spillway. In 2017, the spillway failed, leading to the evacuation of nearly 200,000 residents. Since that incident, the dam has been reinforced, and Butte County Sheriff Corey Honea says they are ready.
We've learned a lot over the course of the last 2 years. If we got to the point where there was some elevated risk that we would need to deal with that, I think we're in a better position to handle it this year.
The water is only a few feet away from the spillway's gate, and incoming rain will cause water to drain into the spillway.
The Los Angeles City Council has moved forward on a plan to ban plastic straws in local restaurants by 2021. This limits restaurants to giving out single-use straws only if customers ask for them. Customer Damon Staniford doesn't agree with the new ban.
If you're handicapped, a lot of handicapped people who have trouble with their hands or they have trouble with their mouths, they need the plastic straws. So while I think it's a well-intentioned law, I think it wasn't very well thought out.
Councilman Mitch O'Farrill says this gives the food industries a 2-year phase-out to get rid of their current inventory of plastic straws, and it gives the industry time to find more environmental-friendly alternatives for the mass consumption.
Here's Valley View News' Monica Campos with entertainment news. Monica?
Thank you, Scott. Captain Marvel is flying into theaters this week. Oscar winner Lea Larson is in the title role, and the film marks Marvel's first solo female superhero. With much of the film taking place in the mid-90s, Captain Marvel bubbles with nostalgia, thanks to references like Blockbuster and the Smashing Pumpkins. Larson's character, Carol, is the latest superhero to join the Avengers, before their film hits theaters April 26. The cast also features Samuel L. Jackson, Jude Law, and Clark Gregg. Captain Marvel is expected to earn over $125 million this opening weekend. WWE wrestling legend Christopher Allen Pallies, known as King Kong Bundy, has died at age 61. The WWE confirmed his passing on Tuesday. There has been an outpour of heartfelt messages on social media over the news from the former wrestlers and fans. Hulk Hogan wrote on Twitter that he was overwhelmed by King Kong Bundy's passing. Many remember Bundy from his historic match against Hogan during WrestleMania 2, a match that will go down as one of wrestling's most iconic moments. Beloved Riverdale and 90210 star Luke Perry has died. He was 52. Perry suffered from a massive stroke last week. Paramedics responded to a call at Perry's home in Sherman Oaks around 9:40 a.m. Last week, he was admitted to the hospital for observation. He died the same day the Beverly Hills 90210 reboot was announced. He was surrounded by family and close friends when he died. Perry's family say they appreciate the outpouring of support extended to Luke from around the world. Will Smith is rumored to play Venus and Serena Williams' father, Richard Williams, in an upcoming biopic about his life. It's called King Richard. The Oscar nominee is facing some backlash. He's much lighter skinned than Richard Williams. Smith faced similar backlash when he was casted to play the main character of The Pursuit of Happiness, and Concussion, both of whom are darker skinned. An arbitrator ordered Fox to pay $179 million to producers and actors from the TV show Bones. Fox executives deflated the profits from the show. They did it by licensing reruns to be shown on a sister network like Hulu at a substantially lower rate. The show's actors and producers claim it caused them to lose millions in profits. 21st Century Fox denied the allegations. It'll appeal in the ruling. Fox isn't the first company to come under the fire for such tactics. In 2012, Disney paid $319 million to the producers of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, under similar circumstances. That's all for entertainment news. Back to you.
More to come on Valley View News. The U.S. women's soccer team honored influential women during their game against England.
And California is suing the Trump administration over their abortion rule.
Hi, Meals on Wheels.
I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels.
I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Let's hear the latest from international news from Andrea Tanchez in our Digital Media Center.
Venezuelan opposition leader Juan Guaido is spending a second day back in Venezuela.
Good afternoon. First of all, I want to say to all the Venezuelan unions that we are not going to give up until we reach our goal.
Despite many threats and at the risk of arrest, Guaido appeared in Caracas, where he was met by crowds of supporters. His homecoming has reignited the opposition as many Venezuelans want current President Nicolas Maduro out. Guaido has continued to preach to demonstrators to keep on protesting Maduro's rule. British and Irish police are investigating 3 suspicious packages containing bombs found in London transportation hubs. The incidents at Heathrow, London City Airport, and Waterloo train station are being treated as series of linked events. No one was hurt and services were not affected. Nobody has claimed responsibility, but police say the packages had Irish stamps on them. India is denying claims it sent a submarine into Pakistani waters. Pakistan's military released footage of the submarine surfacing. Authorities say the incident happened Monday night. They detected and blocked the submarine. The authenticity of the video has not been verified. The latest tensions between the 2 nuclear powers started last month when India conducted an air raid on terrorist camps based in Pakistan. ISIS has lost 100% of the territory it controlled in Syria. U.S. military officials say U.S. forces helped defeat the Islamic State group in the area. The last 2 weeks, more than 10,000 civilians moved to camps for displaced people. IS fighters were moved to detention facilities in the north. It's been a 4-year battle to end the group's self-proclaimed caliphate. It's Women's History Month, and when the U.S. women's soccer team took the field against England on Saturday night, the back of their jerseys read a little differently. The players wore the names of influential and iconic women. Among those recognized was Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala Yousafzai, whose name was worn by 2-time FIFA Player of the Year Carly Lloyd. The She Believes movement was created with the goal of encouraging female leaders to chase their dreams. That is all for international news. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Now let's get the latest on health with Tia Dunbar.
British doctors say a second HIV-positive patient has been cured. 3 years ago, he received a bone marrow transplant from an HIV-resistant donor. The so-called London patient has been in remission for 18 months. Very sensitive tests show no traces of HIV infection, but doctors say it is too early to say he's been cured. 10 years ago, a Berlin patient was said to be the first person to be cured of HIV. The CDC says nearly 37 million people are living with HIV worldwide. A teen who got vaccinated against his mother's wishes has testified on Capitol Hill. 18-year-old Ethan Lindenberger talked to Congress about misinformation and outbreaks of preventable diseases.
It's very clear that all the information is incorrect, skewed data. Everything is not cited. And also there's a lot of emotional appeals talking about families and children and appealing to a parent's love.
CDC officials say the current outbreak of measles has affected 260 people in 11 states, and that parents deciding not to vaccinate children is a big problem. The measles, mumps, and rubella Vaccine does not increase the risk of autism. That's the conclusion by researchers who studied more than 650,000 children in Denmark from 1999 to 2010. Only 1% were diagnosed with autism. Researchers say the MMR vaccine did not increase the risk of autism in children not already considered at risk. Thousands of parents refuse to vaccinate their kids because of a perceived link between immunization and autism. The World Health Organization says vaccine hesitancy is a top 10 threat to global health. California is suing the Trump administration over its new federal abortion restrictions. California officials say the rule puts restrictions on federally funded family planning services like Planned Parenthood. California's first partner, Jennifer Newsom, says the administration's latest move has nothing to do with the abortion.
No, this is about politics and pushing away organizations like Planned Parenthood.
The administration's new rule would prohibit abortion referrals and shift millions of dollars to faith-based family planning services. 19 other states also plan on suing the administration. President Trump has signed an executive order giving more resources to programs that help prevent suicide among veterans. The Department of Veterans Affairs says 20 veterans kill themselves every single day in this country. CSUN student and veteran April Chamchaliam says this is a tragedy.
With veterans, I think it's so high because of the trauma that they received when they were either deployed or in a war type situation, or if it's not even war, it's just the trauma that they've experienced from being in the military.
The plan includes prioritizing research and giving grants to help lower the number of suicides across the country. The FDA is set to approve a new type of drug for depression. Esketamine will be a new nasal spray that can relieve severe depression. The chemical cousin of the party drug, ketamine, will be the first new treatment for depression in decades. The CDC says 1 out of every 6 adults will have depression at some point, affecting more than 16 million Americans. That's all. Back to you.
Coming up on Valley View News, General Motors is closing plants in Ohio, cutting 8,000 jobs. The company says it's beneficial for the future.
Also, one kindergarten has a first day of class she will never forget. Stay with us.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I'm a single mother, and I was the main one working, so I never thought that I could go back to school, you know? My sister, my mother, everybody wanted to help me with my kids. I could not have gotten my diploma without my family.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
It's fine that other people like you. It's more important that you like yourself. And I'm comfortable with every part of me. Meals on Wheels coming to my door as someone who's housebound assures me that I'm not forgotten. They care that I'm okay. My name is Asha Ida Bell. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Here's Lisa Rodriguez with the latest in social media, tech, and business news.
General Motors will close down its 6.2 million square foot plant 2 days earlier than expected. The Lordstown, Ohio plant is the first of 4 the automaker is closing. The closure will cut 8,000 jobs. General Motors says the closing is necessary to invest in car production in the future. Union official Dave Green says some employees have already stopped working.
At 3 o'clock on Friday will be the beginning of our unallocated status. Officially. We recognize that a lot of our members will be off the job before then.
Union auto workers are suing the automaker, claiming the shutdown violates their contract. Huawei is fighting the ban on its products. The Chinese tech company is suing the U.S. government over its law prohibiting federal agencies from purchasing any Huawei technology, fearing a national threat. The company has repeatedly denied it uses its products to spy on people. The lawsuit says the National Defense Authorization Act penalizes companies without a fair trial, hurting future businesses with other countries. Facebook creator Mark Zuckerberg's net worth dropped by $9 billion last year. Zuckerberg slipped 3 places on the Forbes magazine 2018 Global Billionaires list. His net worth is now estimated at $62 billion. Experts say Zuckerberg's wealth and his company's fortune shrank because of the scandal and data breaches. Facebook also dealt with a government investigation. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos is now considered the world's richest person. Volvo will put a speed limit on its cars to keep them from going above 112 miles per hour. The company decided to do this by next year as part of their zero fatality or serious injuries goal. The new technology might also be able to keep cars from speeding near schools or hospitals. Volvo is also looking into ways of dealing with problems of driving distracted or intoxicated. Wells Fargo has agreed to pay $240 million to its shareholders to settle several lawsuits over the unauthorized account scandals. The lawsuit claims bank officials turned a blind eye to employers who were creating millions of users' accounts without the permission of the customer. Insurers will pay the money on behalf of the former executives and directors, including the former CEO, John Stump, who resigned after the scandal broke. Back to school is always an adjustment, but for this 9-year-old girl, adjustment is an understatement. Haseen was greeted with a warm welcome after beating synovial sarcoma. This rare form of cancer affects 1 to 3 people per million. Housing's family says she's ready to go back. That's it for media, tech, and business news. Back to you.
A North Carolina teen returns a wallet with $700. The teen found the wallet at a bus stop.
I want to take it because if I was that person and my wallet dropped, I wouldn't want to lose that much money.
For the good deed, he received certificates for honesty and integrity and a sheriff's coin.
That's all for us at Valley View News. Thank you for watching. I'm Scott Gierman.
I'm Leslie Estrada. For news any time of the day, go to our website sundial.csun.edu. See you next week.